worth less after years of use. Trump Force One lost significant value after years of use and sitting idle. The plane was worth about $100 million when purchased in 2011. By 2021, estimates put the value around $10 to $20 million maximum. Aircraft depreciate quickly, especially when not maintained perfectly. The custom Trump interior actually decreased the value for potential buyers. Most buyers would rip out all the gold and redo the interior themselves. The engines needed expensive overhauls after sitting unused for 4 years. The airframe had aged and accumulated flight hours that reduced its worth. Trump would take a massive financial loss if he tried to sell it. The plane was more valuable to him personally than on the open market. It was a money pit that cost far more to own than it was worth. Returned to service in 2021. After Trump left the White House in January of that year, the plane had been sitting mostly unused at Stewart International Airport in New York for the entire 4 years of his presidency. During that time, it had deteriorated significantly from lack of use and exposure to harsh weather conditions. The plane underwent millions of dollars in extensive repairs and complete updates to make it airworthy and safe to fly again. Mechanics had to replace both Rolls-Royce engines because they had been sitting idle for so long without proper maintenance. The engines alone cost several million dollars to overhaul and reinstall on the wings, outdated navigation systems, communication equipment, and safety features to meet current aviation standards. Years of neglect had taken a serious toll on both the exterior and interior of the luxury jet. Trump completely repainted the exterior with fresh glossy paint and updated his logos to look even bigger and bolder than before. The new paint job cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and took weeks to complete properly. He made sure the giant Trump letters were perfectly visible from every angle on the ground and in the air. The American flag on the tail was repainted with brighter, more vibrant colors that stood out dramatically. Workers polished and cleaned every inch of the fuselage until it gleamed like new in the sunlight. Inside the cabin, crews deep cleaned the gold fixtures, leather seats, and carpets that had collected dust for years. They replaced worn fabrics, updated entertainment systems, and made sure every luxury feature worked perfectly again. The restoration project took several months and required teams of specialized aircraft mechanics and interior designers working around the clock. Trump wanted to use the plane for political rallies and potential future campaigns across the country. He needed a dramatic way to arrive at events that would generate media attention and excitement. The plane's return was strategically announced on social media, with carefully staged dramatic photos showing the gleaming jet. Trump personally posted multiple videos of the plane being repaired in the hangar, with mechanics working on engines and systems. He narrated some videos himself, explaining how beautiful and powerful the plane would be when finished. His supporters flooded the comments with excitement and cheered that the iconic plane was flying again after so long. They saw it as a symbol that Trump was coming back stronger than ever before. The plane made its first official post-presidency flight in late 2021 to a political rally in a southern state. Thousands of supporters lined up outside the airport fence to watch it land with Trump on board. The moment was captured by dozens of cameras and broadcast live on conservative news networks. Trump emerged from the plane at the top of the Golden Stairs, waving to the massive crowd below. It was a carefully choreographed moment designed to show his return to political power and influence. The plane became an instant symbol of Trump's return to public political life and his refusal to fade away. It represented his intention to remain a major force in Republican politics and American culture. Every time the plane landed at a rally, it generated headlines and social media buzz for days afterward. The sight of Trump Force One parking at small airports became a regular feature of his post-presidency rallies. Bonus fact, it almost didn't get Trump's name. When Trump first bought the plane from Paul Allen, the Microsoft billionaire, back in 2011, he actually considered using other names instead. He sat in meetings with advisors and marketing people discussing what to call his new flying palace. He thought seriously about calling it Trump One or the Trump Jet as the official name painted on the side. Some advisors suggested more subtle names that wouldn't be so obviously about self-promotion and ego. He briefly considered not putting his name on it at all for privacy reasons and keeping a lower profile. That idea lasted about 5 minutes in his mind before he completely rejected it as ridiculous. Trump couldn't resist the incredible branding opportunity and massive marketing value of having his name in huge letters. He wanted absolutely everyone who saw the plane to know it was his from miles away on the ground. The decision to go big with his name in giant gold letters years, became a defining feature of the plane's identity. He didn't just want his name visible, he wanted it to dominate the entire side of the fuselage. The letters were made as large as physically possible without looking completely absurd to aviation authorities. Trump personally approved the size, font, and color of every letter painted on the exterior. He spent hours looking at mock-ups and designs until it was exactly how he envisioned it. The Trump Force. One nickname actually came later from the media and his political supporters during the campaign. Reporters started calling it that because it rivaled Air Force One in luxury and size. Trump absolutely loved the nickname because it directly compared him to the President of the United States. He embraced the comparison and started using Trump Force One himself in speeches and interviews. He would tell crowds that his plane was actually nicer than Air Force One in many ways. The name stuck and became part of American political culture and everyday conversation about Trump. People who had never seen the plane still knew exactly what Trump Force One meant instantly. The nickname appeared in countless news articles, TV segments, and social media posts over the years. It became as famous as Trump Tower, Mar-a-Lago, and his other branded properties around the world. The plane's name proved that Trump would never miss a single chance to promote his brand. Even when advisors suggested being more modest, he always chose the biggest and boldest option available. The name became synonymous with his personality. Big, bold, impossible to ignore, and always about Trump himself. From solid gold showers to secret bedrooms, Trump Force One proved that too much is never enough when you're a billionaire with unlimited confidence. This flying palace completely changed how we think about private jets and luxury in the sky forever. The plane became more than just transportation. It became a symbol of wealth, power, and American excess taken to the absolute extreme. Every gold-plated surface and custom feature told a story about one man's vision of success and luxury. Whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny that Trump Force One is one of the most famous private planes ever to fly through American skies. It carried a businessman to the presidency and became an icon of modern political theater and spectacle. If you learned something crazy today about the most expensive and controversial plane in politics, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more incredible facts that'll make your jaw drop to the floor. We've got tons more wild stories about planes, politics, and the rich and famous coming your way.